this video, we're going to show you 10 of our favorite photo shoots from the past few years.
We thought it'd be handy to have all these photo shoots in one place so that you can reference them for inspiration before your own photo shoots.
Or whatever.
So this shoot, we actually flew to Utah and we had just like 24 hours to get the shoot done and get back.
Yeah, we woke up super early for it and we're all super tired, but we were like running on the adrenaline of the cool shoot.
Yeah, usually we have to worry about shooting behind the scenes footage. We have to worry about producing the shoot. We have to worry about all these other things in addition to taking the photos. And this time we were able to hire a whole team of people to help us so we could just focus on the photos. We had our friends Colin and Samir shoot behind the scenes footage for us. And we had Rolando doing hair. And we also had a makeup artist. And we hired 2 local models.
And we made like a last minute call and we stopped at a hardware store on our way to the Salt Flats, like from the airport to the Salt Flats. And we picked up some spray bottles for Rolando for their hair, and we picked up these mirrors. And I'm so glad that we did because we got so many cool shots of them.
Yeah, those ended up being some of my favorites. And then we also had a piece of fabric, which is always like a nice way to have something that the models can interact with or reinforce your theme or anything like that.
Basically, the starting image in my head was the model in a red outfit in the Salt Flats in front of the red piece of fabric. And from there, I built off the idea of fire and ice. So then we had another model come in wearing white. And we also brought in like a plasticky kind of...
shower curtain, right?
Oh yeah, maybe it was a shower curtain. We brought that in to kind of like have the feel of ice as well. Yeah, and the whole shoot ended up so cool. The high five was really bad.
So for this shoot, we actually partnered with a phone company, and we always try to find opportunities where we can do like a dream photo shoot. And when we partner with brands, they give us the budget to be able to pull some of these things off. And so we didn't want to just shoot only phone photos, so we brought our DSLR along. So now we're gonna show some DSLR photos that we did not show in the original video on our channel. Since we shot this during a pandemic, putting Will in a spacesuit was also a good way to keep safely distanced from him and keeping him contained.
Yeah, this was our first friend that we hung out with during the pandemic, and we were able to do it safely.
And usually we get kicked out of that Chinatown Plaza, but since all these businesses were shut down at the time, like we were able to get the shots without security giving us the boot, so that was kind of nice.
What was your favorite location that we shot?
I really like shooting in Chinatown just because there's all those cool lights and you get, it's just like a really cool setting.
Yep, that's one of my favorite places to shoot in LA. But I think that the studio part was my favorite.
Yeah, we got the fog machine running, which kind of made him look like he's exploring like this darkness. And
yeah, like a planet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was really cool.
Okay, this is my favorite photo shoot of all time. If I could exclusively shoot seniors, I would do it.
We put out a model call on Craigslist for senior citizens, and these are a few of them that responded, and they did a really good job.
Yeah, and they were so sweet and so professional, and I just really loved working with them.
We hired Amia and Rolando to take care of hair and wardrobe styling for us, which was really nice, so then we could just kind of focus on the actual photos and not worrying about all these small details of how they look.
The original inspiration for this was a New Balance ad that was from like the 80s or something, and they recently had a campaign, and we saw a poster hanging in New York where they recreated some old photos with some old people.
And that gave us the idea.
Yeah, and that gave us the idea for this.
That was really fun, and it was like kind of a fun way to launch our own merch line too, just in our own style.
And we asked them to adopt us, and we're still waiting to hear back. Okay, this is low-key like one of my dream shoots, but just like a small fraction of it. I want to do a shoot that's specifically every color. And we started with the purple because our friend BC gifted us this purple Lomachrome film. And what we didn't realize when we were shooting is that the film actually shifts anything that's purple to green. So luckily we brought our DSLR and we got some images with the purple suit and the purple fabric, but everything that was shot with the Lomachrome just turned green.
It's kind of interesting to see the side by side and see all the shifts that film is doing. But I am glad we have digital because I do like the purple because it's so striking. And I thought the skin tone with the film was a little wonky, so
Yeah, I've seen landscape shots with it, and I think that's what you mostly want to shoot with that film.
Matthew's one of our favorite models to work with. He really understands our vibe, and he's really good at just like doing creative posing, and he's just a really good model. So he's really fun to work with.
Yeah, he killed the shoot, and I couldn't imagine doing it with a different model.
Once again, we're integrating fabric here, kind of reinforces that color theme, and it also gives us some more unique backdrops and something for the model to interact with.
What was your favorite like location for this one?
Well, I really liked it over here with this purple wall.
I think that's mine too.
Yeah.
We were looking everywhere for a purple building, and this is the closest we could find.
They recently painted it too, purple, so that came in handy. So this was the first big shoot we did for our YouTube channel, and I was really stressed out leading up to the shoot because we had a rented location, we hired 2 models, we had Mia and Rolando styling for us, and it was just like a lot of different moving pieces. And we also were trying out a Hasselblad medium format digital camera for the first time too.
Despite all that chaos though, I really feel like this was a super slowed down shoot. We had sketched out all of the portraits in advance. For every vignette, we went in with the 5D Mark IV and the Hasselblad. So it was like, it felt like really slowed down, and time kind of like paused.
Yeah, and the house we rented just was so well decorated, and that's one of the reasons why we got it. So it really just made our job a lot easier. And the 2 models are a real life couple, so they're really comfortable with each other, and that just made our job a whole lot easier.
There were so many different vignettes in this house.
We were really happy with how everything turned out. We wanted to give it a very cinematic feeling, and we wanted every shot to feel like a still frame from like a movie or something. And so I think in the bedrooms, we accomplished that really well. And there's like a lot of intrigue and a lot of story going on there.
Yeah, I want to watch that movie.
So we were feeling a little burnt out with photo shoots. So we took maybe 3 months off before we did another photo shoot, and this was the first one we did in 2018.
Yeah, this was with a model we had never met before. We put out a model call on our Instagram, and Crystalline responded, and we really loved her look. We loved her red hair, and we were intentional with the wardrobe that we bought to highlight her hair. And then we just took her around some kind of like abandoned parts of Los Angeles. This little like grassy hill, and then some like
more industrial areas.
Yeah, and then some like industrial areas.
It was like
nearby.
a Sunday. Yeah, it was a Sunday afternoon, so a lot of the businesses were closed and not a lot of people out. So that kind of helped us out.
But I really loved this shoot. This is one of my favorites, and I feel like a lot of people didn't really watch it, but it's really like kind of intimate and emotional.
Yeah, there's like a certain mood with it, and it was also really kind of blustery and chilly outside, and I feel like her mood kind of, and the environment and the weather and everything kind of, you know.
Yeah, if you just looked at these pictures, I don't think that you'd think that they were taken in the middle, like literally the middle of Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm. I think the shoot went well. We're gonna call it quits here. We'll see you next time.
Okay, this is another really good one. This shoot was inspired by Nirav Patel. He often shoots with like a fog machine and like really volumetric light.
Well, that's one of the reasons why Rachel used a fog machine, is because that really gives the light something to interact with, and it makes the light look really cool streaming in through the window.
Yeah, it gives it a lot of dimension.
Rachel used a makeshift baffle to block most of the window at one point, which kind of makes the light stream in through the top, and then that really gives it just like a little slot of light for you to put the model in, and it was really cool. I actually stayed home for this shoot. I was working on post-production, and I was really jealous I missed out on it because it looked really cool.
Yeah, the goal with this shoot was to shoot digital versus film, so that anybody who is wanting to venture into film from digital can have an idea of some of the differences.
And then Rachel also used a projector to kind of mimic that stream of light from the window, but this gave us more control of where it was pointed.
So that was just like a really fun shoot to kind of play with light.
So this shoot is another example of Rachel having an idea, and then we were waiting for the right brand to partner up with to make it happen.
Yeah, so this shoot was inspired by the movie Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. So what I wanted to do is hire a couple and then recreate some of the key scenes in the movie. And so we got our pals Katie and Joe Bauer on board.
And we also shot some video on a Super 8 film camera, so that kind of helped give that nostalgic vibe. And that colander shot in the middle of, we're in Brooklyn, I thought it was funny that like all the passersby, like no one said anything, because I feel like it's just people in New York doing weird stuff, and I think that was normal.
Okay, that's another thing I want to mention is that shooting in New York is so much different than shooting in Los Angeles, because if you shoot for like 2 seconds on the sidewalk in Los Angeles, someone tells you to put away your gear or they'll give you a ticket. But in New York, you can shoot as long as you want, wherever you want, it seems like.
Here's another example of us. We wanted to shoot and with a film camera and digital. That just gives us a little bit of both. And you know, the film one to us has like this timeless nostalgic vibe, and the digital ones have the benefits of digital. So it's a little best of both worlds.
Yeah, whenever we do like a dream photo shoot, I always try to bring the film camera as well, because I'll usually prefer those photos.
So when we got to the beach, the sun was out a little stronger than we had hoped. We were hoping for more overcast. So we actually ended up driving to our next location, kind of waiting for the sun to get a little lower in the sky. And then we head back to the beach and recreated some of those shots with better light.
We went into the shoot with a list of photos that we wanted to get. And then I think that when we were out on the scene, you know, we kind of just took whatever photos came naturally. Mm-hmm. But there was like a hard list of like maybe 10 to 20 photos we definitely wanted to get. And I think we got them all.
Yeah. Everything went according to plan. The only thing that we didn't shoot that we wanted to was on the train, which it would have just been kind of a hassle to be able to do that. So we skipped that part. Okay, this shoot, we actually did it in part of our launch for our first Lightroom presets, and the shoot was actually really cool. It was kind of like a secondary part of the video, but we wanted to kind of highlight it here because both models did a really nice job being really expressive and creative. And this is our first time working with Christina, who's one of our favorite models because she's really good at creatively posing her body. We started off in the studio first, and then we went outside in the fashion district because they're wearing colorful outfits, and the fashion district has a lot of different colors and textures, and we kind of played off of that.
Yeah, every time I'm walking through the fashion district, I'm always like thinking of this shoot in my head, and I was so happy that we finally got to make it happen.
Mm-hmm. And then at the very end of the shoot, we were back in the studio and we had like lower light coming in, more angled, and so we got a few last shots before they left.
Okay, this shoot was super inspired by Jesse Herzog, and what it really was like this like scheme to make In-N-Out a business write-off for Daniel.
We're actually there early in the morning, right when they opened, so it would be not very crowded. We could shoot on their property without anyone really noticing.
We normally just shoot with like available light, but for this shoot, even though it's kind of grungy and even though it's fast food, we wanted to have like kind of a high fashion feel. So we brought a reflector to kind of bounce some silver or even sometimes gold light on our model. And we also brought a flash.
2 flashes.
Yeah, so that we can get that like kind of like edgier American Apparel kind of vibe is what we always call it. Of course, Kyra totally killed this shoot. We couldn't think of anybody else who would be a better model for it.
And then an employee brought us In-N-Out hats, which was awesome.
Oh yeah, that was the most surprising up and down a photo shoot.
I thought he was gonna kick us out, and he was just like, oh, here's some hats if you want them.
Yeah, he was so friendly.
And I love the angles we were able to capture here. All in all, that was an awesome shoot.
Yeah, and it was like super easy. We went there like 10:30 in the morning. We were done by 11, and it was great photos. Good time.
That wraps it up.
We hope these photo shoots inspire you when you're out doing your own photo shoots.
See you in the next one.